the looming shadow of a potential U.S. rejection of Mauritius's claim to the Chagos Islands, encompassing the strategically vital Diego Garcia military base, is poised to cast a long and potentially destabilizing shadow across the Indian Ocean region. This critical issue is set to feature prominently in a meeting between UK Labour leader Keir Starmer and former US President Donald Trump next Friday. A meeting primarily focused on the ongoing conflict in Ukraine and a UK-backed plan for Gaza's reconstruction. Starmer intends to impress upon Trump the potentially explosive ramifications of a U.S. refusal to acknowledge Mauritius's legitimate claim, arguing that such a rejection could ignite a regional conflict mirroring the volatile tensions currently plaguing the South China Sea. The core of Starmer's argument rests on the strategic implications of a prolonged and unresolved dispute over the Chagos Islands. These islands, a series of atolls in the Indian Ocean often described as Britain's last African colony, hold immense geostrategic significance, particularly Diego Garcia, which hosts a major U.S. military base. The current situation, arising from a complex legal and historical context, stems from a 1965 agreement between the UK and Mauritius, where the islands were detached from Mauritius prior to its independence, a move that has been subject to ongoing legal challenges by Mauritius. The UK's subsequent lease arrangement with Mauritius, granting the UK control of the islands for a 99-year period, has been met with criticism, with accusations of neocolonialism and a disregard for Mauritian sovereignty. Starmer's intervention in this long-standing dispute highlights the inherent complexities and the potential for escalation. He believes a U.S. refusal to recognize Mauritius's claim would significantly embolden China, potentially leading to a dramatic shift in the regional power balance. The UK government itself has warned of this scenario, arguing that the unresolved legal status of the islands presents a tempting opportunity for China to establish a presence, potentially constructing listening posts or military bases on the outer islands. This action, the UK argues, would create a contested security environment in the Indian Ocean, echoing the escalating tensions and militarization witnessed in the South China Sea, a region fraught with territorial disputes and significant strategic rivalry between regional powers and external actors. The strategic implications extend beyond the immediate geographical area. The Chagos Islands location offers unparalleled surveillance capabilities, monitoring vital shipping lanes and potentially impacting global communication networks. The presence of a major U.S. military base adds another layer of complexity, intertwining the dispute with wider geopolitical considerations and alliances. A Chinese presence, therefore, would represent not only a challenge to Mauritian sovereignty and UK interests, but also a significant strategic setback for the U.S., potentially altering the balance of power in the Indian Ocean and beyond. The Gaza reconstruction plan, also on the agenda for the Starmer-Trump meeting, provides a contrasting yet equally significant backdrop to the Chagos Islands discussion. This plan, which echoes proposals under discussion by Arab foreign ministers in Riyadh, emphasizes an internationally supervised reconstruction effort for Gaza, aiming to prevent Hamas from consolidating its power. The plan emphasizes a strong international role in overseeing the reconstruction process, focusing on rebuilding infrastructure and fostering economic development while ensuring the security and well-being of the Palestinian population. Crucially, the plan aims to avoid any requirement for Palestinians to leave the Gaza Strip, a critical departure from previous approaches that often resulted in displacement and humanitarian crises. The inclusion of this initiative in the same meeting as the Chagos Islands discussion underscores the broader global challenges facing both the UK and the US, highlighting the interconnected nature of international affairs and the need for a coherent and coordinated approach to addressing these complex issues. The strategic parallel between the Chagos Islands dispute and the South China Sea is striking. Both involve territorial claims, the potential for escalation, and the shadow of great power competition. The South China Sea, with its complex web of overlapping claims and competing national interests, has become a focal point for regional and global tensions. The risk of a similar scenario unfolding in the Indian Ocean, fueled by a U.S. rejection of Mauritius's claim, is a real and concerning prospect. This makes the discussion between Starmer and Trump all the more crucial, placing a sharp focus on the potential for a relatively contained dispute to escalate into a larger regional conflict with far-reaching implications. Furthermore, the domestic political context in both the UK and Mauritius adds another layer of complexity. In the UK, the agreement to lease the Chagos Islands to Mauritius has faced significant criticism, with accusations of a lack of transparency and a disregard for the historical injustices inflicted upon the Chagosian people, who were forcibly removed from their homes in the 1960s and 70s. This criticism extends beyond party lines, with concerns raised across the political spectrum about the ethical implications of the deal and the long-term consequences for the Chagosian community. In Mauritius, the renegotiation of the lease agreement by Prime Minister Navin Ramgoolam reflects the strong national sentiment regarding the island's sovereignty. The re-election of Ramgoolam underscores the political significance of this issue for the Mauritian people, who see the return of the Chagos Islands as a crucial step in reclaiming their national identity and asserting their sovereignty. Therefore, the discussion between Starmer and Trump is not merely a diplomatic exercise. It is deeply intertwined with the historical, political, and social realities of both the UK and Mauritius. The outcome of this discussion will have far-reaching implications for the future of the Chagos Islands, the stability of the Indian Ocean region, and the broader geopolitical landscape. The stakes are high, and the potential consequences of inaction are substantial. A failure to reach a mutually acceptable solution could unleash a cascade of unpredictable events, further destabilizing an already volatile region.